Welcome to Cowboy Boys Podcast, live from the Little Time Studios, deep under Rockefeller Center, in a hidden underground bunker with simulated lights.
Hell yeah.
Joining me is my good friend BK Sharad.
Hello. It's good to be back.
What's happening? You're just warmed up from the last podcast?
Yeah.
The stank is still in this room from the three beautiful young men, including yourself.
Thank you.
I want to get right into it. Why did you move to LA? What is wrong with you? Why didn't you move here? I guess my question is, what have you seen anything? How long have you been there?
I've been there since February, so it's been 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
I thought
because it's August, right?
I don't know what month it is.
Yeah. So it's been a little over 6 months now.
It's called
half a year.
Fun employment is, I don't know what day of the week it is. Sometimes I don't know what hour it is.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. In general.
And so you're like, is it August? I'm like, I hope, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't feel like August. Whatever. But you have any good homeless encounters? Any celebrity sightings?
Yeah, celebrity sightings. I've seen the redheaded guy from Modern Family.
I don't know who that is.
Have you seen Modern Family?
No.
Oh, I love Modern Family. It's actually a really good show. I'm really picky about comedy, and I still was like, this is a very well written show.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I really am. Dude, Modern Family, the way the show is written is so cool because some of the characters are so specific and unique. It gives the ability to have jokes that only that show can have because of the mixture of the characters.
I know that there's a fat Mexican kid.
Yes.
Sofia Vergara is married to Al Bundy.
Yes.
And then there's two gay guys.
Yeah. So I'm at the redheaded one.
The what?
Redheaded of the gay couple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The fat one?
No, the redheaded one.
I don't know.
So there's a redheaded one and then there's a fat one.
I don't watch TV.
I normally don't, but it's usually it's just background shit, you know? But Modern Family's funny. The first couple seasons especially.
I'm doing a hard pass.
Dude, they're so good. I thought it was going to be really bad because it seemed like one of those like Suits or Monk or some shit like that.
I haven't watched any of that.
I've never those are USA shows.
Yes.
I've only seen one USA show that was fine, and it was Burn Notice.
Do you watch USA shows because you're like, that's how I'll blend in?
Yeah, that's what America is like.
Is that your immigrant parents were like, we love the USA channel?
Yeah, make sure you watch USA so you know what to expect.
Did you grow up growing up in a Hispanic household?
Yeah,
I got to watch a lot of Telemundo and Sábado Gigante. So there was Spanish TV, and I'm like, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
But then I look back and I'm like, it was pretty based. A lot of big titted ladies.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with Indian TV?
Yes, dude. There was so back in when I was younger, my parents bought a special satellite dish that gets Indian
worldwide
channels. Yeah, and Sun TV was the one channel, and so it had the news and it had a couple of shows. And there's only one show I kind of watched, and they're all basically soap operas. So it was just all just a bunch of weird soap operas.
Did they have the Hispanic thing where we're like, no, only tens, only women?
No. It's very conservative and very I would imagine it's more like Fox News than it is
just a bunch of prudes.
Yeah, dude. Very because I speak Tamil, which is a South Indian language.
Tamil,
yeah, Tamil. And when you watch that, I actually don't even understand what they're saying because they're speaking proper. It's so proper and sophisticated where when you speak Tamil, you use a lot of English words. So let's say you're telling someone to close the door. So you would say door puttu, which means close the door. But
that's have you ever heard of African? There's some African countries speak pidgin.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of pidgin? Yes. BBC?
No.
So BBC. It doesn't stand for what the other thing you're thinking of right now.
And not
African BBC.
And not British.
No, it does stand for BBC.
Oh, it does?
It's
okay,
BBC News. But BBC News translates all their news into different languages.
Okay.
Because they're conquered a lot of the world.
Sure.
Which is bad.
Okay.
They're colonized, I should say, not conquered. And so let's see. They have one of the languages that they have is Pidgin.
It's Pidgen, right?
Pidgin, and it's BBC News Pidgin, and I follow them on Instagram.
Okay.
And hey, I'm gonna say this: I follow it for all the bad reasons. Me and my buddies send each other like all the best headlines, because just like headlines and stuff.
Sure.
And it is like a kind of like a based on English. Let me find a good one recently. There was a ridiculous one. So here's a lion coming out of the water. I don't know what the headline is, but I'm reading it, and I'm not making fun of it. I'm just gonna do an African guy voice. When goat follow lion go fishing, I'm supposed no say when did them catch fish or not food done set.
Wait, so is this real?
This is
like
real.
This is actually like the okay.
This is
interesting.
Pidgin. It's Pidgin English.
Interesting.
Lawmaker way needs secondary school certificate to qualify. They receive monthly salary of whatever Nigerian 20 million. Way they more than that 10-year salary of PhD holder. And so some of the headlines are.
So it's like a language, so you could translate it. Like if you go to Google Translate, like could you be like,
I don't know.
I'm going to the store this week.
Kenya authorities done remove embarrassing statue of some of the dear top athletes after people complain.
Are you sure this is real?
This is real.
This feels very like
it feels racist.
Yeah.
Like a guy doing Chinese being like, ching chong ching, and I always hate like it's like that's a hack. I like to do my shirni, bing chilling, like get some real Chinese words in there.
Or like Indian people get their V's and W's like backwards. So if they're like, I'm gonna go to the video store, they'll be like, I'm gonna get some Vings from Wingstop, and so I thought it might be like something like that, where it's just like, if I were to write a sentence, like how an Indian person would read.
Pidgin English is a language that combines English with local languages to allow people who don't share a common language to communicate.
Interesting.
So I guess it's like Sasperanto? What? Esperanto? There was some like Spanish bullshit language they tried to do in America back in the day. So it's a lot of that.
Okay.
Because I remember watching the greatest movie of 2021, RRR, and trying to like, it's in one language, and then it's like you can have it dubbed. It was dubbed in one Indian language, and then it was filmed in one language, and there's English speaking parts in it, but then they dubbed it in another Indian language, and then like trying to find subtitles or like dubs was kind of like, how many fucking languages is this movie in?
Dude, there's a lot.
Like that's what my whole question. I brought all this up is like how many languages are in India?
I think there's 28.
Oh, that's it.
If I remember correctly.
There's only 28.
And then I speak Tamil, which is allegedly the oldest language of all time. I think, what's it called? Fucking Sanskrit is like the oldest like written language, and then Tamil is like the oldest spoken language.
Have you performed in Tamil yet?
No, dude. I mean, I've only done like Indian crowds like a handful of times. I did like an Indian comedy festival, and that was like my first time I really got to perform for Indian people.
Where was this, in Canada?
San Jose.
Oh.
Yeah. Close enough. And it was very interesting because like because you know I'm from Colorado where it's all white. And so I didn't realize that I was like
nice.
Hell yeah, the motherland. And I feel like there I was doing jokes about being brown for white people.
Yeah, I remember that phase where you're kind of like,
Yeah, and like because they don't get it. I don't get to just be like, yeah, even if I had like the Indian memes of like show bobs and shit like that. Even bringing that shit up, they don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, that's
what I hate, like hack racist jokes.
Yeah.
When people are like, black people like watermelon. I'm like, dude, that's a joke from the 1800s.
Yeah.
There's so many more funnier memes right now. And they're like, what's it mean? And you're like, all right, whatever. I don't even want your coworker core memes.
Yeah.
People
like
don't get it.
Even like I guess people would say thank you, come again to me a lot, like when I was, in elementary school. But it's like if someone does that now. Actually, the first racist thing to ever happen to me, I remember, because it was in kindergarten.
Oh.
And I sit next to this kid, and he just goes, I don't like you. And I go, oh, why? And he says, I don't like you because you're black.
Oh, and you were like, hey, buddy, have I got news for you?
Well, I didn't know. So I went home and I go to my dad and I go, hey, Dad, am I black? And then my dad is just like, why? and then I go, this kid told me in school he doesn't like me because I'm black. And then my dad, it's so crazy that he said, he just goes, well, next time someone tells you that, tell them that Michael Jordan is black and everybody likes him.
Oh, that's very... So he didn't even... He gave you the keys.
He did.
Like, he was like, I guess I'm black now.
Never came up again.
He gave you the end pass.
Really
early.
I like it because he was like, don't feel bad. Like, it's like, even if someone thinks you're black, it's not like bad, which I thought was a nice sentiment that he shared,
because this is online memes, historically online, black people and Indian people. The meme, I know it smelled crazy in there. You guys, you've seen that meme?
No.
See, that's how far gone I am.
It smells crazy, like India smells crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was the meme, I know it smelled crazy in there. I think it was like a bunch of Indians on like a dance floor, and some black guy, some black Twitter guy on Black Twitter was like, I know it smelled crazy in there. And that's Indians just were like, N-word. Wow. And it was just like, oh my God.
That's so interesting.
Because it's online and people are crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny, but that's one of my favorite online racial battles.
That's so weird because I feel like typically Indian people are pretty like chill online. And I think, and not even because like we're just chill always. I think we just understand the internet better than other people.
Well, this is the thing where I hate when everything is like racial and stuff. It's like the people are like, that's the lowest IQ people who have access to online stuff now.
Yeah.
And it's like, so when people like, it's when it like, it's every single problem stems down to we allow low IQ people to wander around, harass women, do whatever. And so then someone's like, well, that homeless dummy was black, so that's a representation of all black people. And I was like, that's not, that's a whole different, that's an individual being shitty.
Yeah.
So we should get him and throw him into the. But I remember my first racist interaction when I was not kindergarten. I think it was like second grade probably, and there was a black girl in my class, and this is very similar. You just reminded me of it, and I'm like, well, I'm Latino, so I go up to her and I'm like, hey, do you want to hear a joke? Very beautiful. And I remember her, and I'm not going to tell you her name, and it will spoil it. But I remember one of the first jokes I told. It was like, why do Mexicans drive lowriders? And she's like, why? And I'm like, to pick up pennies as they drive on the ground. And I was just repeating it because I'm like, what's the joke? And she goes, I'm Mexican, and I'm like, what? And she got really offended. Yeah. And her name was Latanya.
Oh, I knew a bunch of Latanyas.
So I thought she was black.
Yeah.
Like and I was like, she was really mad at me. She's like, I can't, like really pissed off at me, which still to this day is a pattern with me trying to be funny.
Was that also like your first like bit that like you felt that reaction? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
it was a very like, you should not be saying that right now. I'm like, I'm Hispanic.
Sure.
I'm allowed to. What do you
Totally.
What do you mean? I thought you were black.
Yeah.
And I was very confused.
Yeah.
And she was mad at me. Dude. And I'm just like, that probably solidified my like fate for the rest. So I'm like, I'm not gonna feel bad about that.
Wow.
So sorry, Latanya.
Dude,
that's a black girl name.
I don't know now that I'm like thinking about it, because there's like a Latanya in my
LA,
school too.
Apostrophe.
Dude, that just reminded me of the first time I really like learned about like colonization, because I was in like 6th grade, and I remember we were calling roll, and this like the teacher goes, John Samuel, and then this Indian guy raised his hand, and I was like, what? Like, because up until this point, I've only met, like, Raj and, like, Rajesh and, you know, Balakrishnan and shit like that. And so, like, John Samuel and then, like, an Indian guy raises his hand. And then, again, I go to my dad. I guess I ask my dad all the time. And then, dude, this is just... My dad has always kept it real with me.
He's like, how come we didn't pick a cool American name? I want to be Sam Smith.
Well, so I go... I was like, hey, there's an Indian guy named John Samuel. Like, what's up with that? And my dad is just like... Well, basically, the Christians came to India, and they told them if they read the Bible, they'll give them food.
It's not a bad deal.
And he's like, and that's it. And that's all he told me. And I was like, oh.
I think they're still doing that today.
They really are, dude.
Everywhere around the world.
Yeah, didn't that one guy got like speared to death? That was in India, right?
I have no idea, but it sounds like he deserved it.
Yeah. I mean, he went to, I'm pretty sure it's India. He went to some uncontacted tribe.
Whoa.
And then tried to like be like, hey guys, boy, do I have something to tell you about.
Some white dork.
Yeah.
Getting stabbed by jungle people.
Yeah, dude.
Tale is old as time.
It was crazy. And yeah, because those people are like, what is this thing you've come here on? You know, it's like,
why aren't you naked? Where are your women at? Why you come? We don't want more dude. It's the same thing with America right now. Everyone's like, all these Middle Eastern immigrants, where are the women? Whereas if we contacted those tribes, with a bunch of babes, they'd be like, hold up.
That's what why Trump wants the wall. He's like, the ratio is off. It's more dudes, not enough chicks.
That is a real... It's kind of a joking talking point of like far right people, but I'm like, I kind of agree with them. I'm like, it is. You see those like lines of those wagon parties of like, because back when it was Hillary Trump in 2016, it was the South Americans. There was some like huge convoy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I can't remember what they called it. It had a special name. It wasn't convoy. Maybe it was, but it was like, I'm like, that is a lot of dudes. And then I think of one of my favorite tweets, where it's like, if America like prioritized immigrating women into America, white women would become Nazis overnight.
Wow!
Because if we started importing just traditional God-fearing women from around the world who want to have babies and don't want to work jobs and all, it would fix our...
That's such like a 2000s, early 2000s bit that like...
No, it's not.
No, I just mean like I see like a comic on stage saying that. It's like, that's the thing. We don't have enough chicks. Like, and chicks can't... Like, it's like, who has that joke about is it John Mulaney has like a heist joke about how like you can't have like an all-woman heist or something like that?
I can't recall my jokes. I don't know who's other people's.
Are you still when's the last time you did a mic?
Just like a month ago. I'm focused on getting that bag.
Hell yeah.
I'm focused on I've been doing nothing but working out and applying for jobs. Sorry everybody, the podcast has been late a bunch of times. I'm busy.
He's grinding, dude. Also, dude, you look fucking great. I think that's the other thing that's wild, like, because the episodes are spread out. Just each episode you come back just looking like just so different. Because of how rapidly you're losing weight.
I wonder how much I weighed at the last one. I'm probably like 20 pounds down from even the last one a couple weeks ago.
It's crazy. Because like people are going to be like, wow, has it been like 4 years since I've seen Mac?
That's like, what it feels like. Sorry, guys. I've lost... Let's talk about it. I want people to slide back into my DMs. I've lost a bunch of weight. I've been running.
Yeah.
I've been pretty like I'm like taking Ozempic. I'm kind of off of it to see if I'm weaning myself off to see if I'll like get fat again.
Yeah.
And
do you feel different?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you feel worse?
So I have to. No, I feel different. It's not worse or better. So. My entire life, I can eat like 2 Little Caesars pizzas.
No. I mean, since you weaned off the Ozempic.
Oh yeah, I feel normal. But let me get into it. So I've always been able to feel like just eat and be like, I could eat another 2 slices. I'll feel uncomfortable. I'll feel like physically full, like I'm about to burst. But I've never felt full.
Sure.
Ever in my life. And so then when I started taking Ozempic, I've started like I'll eat like a big salad and be like, I guess I'm full. I feel uncomfortable. So I had to apologize to my skinny friends who I always made fun of.
Yeah.
Who could never gain weight when they're trying to like put on muscle. And I'm just like, eat a tub of ice cream, you little bitch. What are you talking about? You can't eat more. And I'm like, oh, different people have different like chemical brain things where
leptin and shit like that too.
I don't know what the terminology, but it is like a thing now where I'm like, oh, I eat like a quarter of what I have been, and I feel satiated. And I'm like, I'm such a bitch now. I just can't even eat like I used to. I've lost my man card. I'm under 200 pounds.
Let's go.
I fucking hate. I can't wait to get fat again. But there's like some statistic where it's like within 3 years, most people who were fat will relapse.
Yeah, happened.
And I feel like it's happening right now because we went to that pizza place and the guy was like,
oh, he fucked up and gave you like 8 slices of pizza.
I bought 1 slice and those girls left, I think. And then he's like, do you want 4 extra slices? And I'm like, of course I do. There's still a fat kid deep inside of me. I'm not going to, there's starving children in India and Africa. They're coming over here because of our pizza. They want to eat.
That never goes away. As an ex-fat. As an ex-fat myself. Because I remember the thought process that made me fat. Which was
feels good.
Yeah,
I'm like, getting fat is so fun.
Well, because how it started was I got sent to rehab for alcohol. No, for alcohol.
Food.
And then I moved back in with my parents.
What age?
Like 19.
Damn.
Yeah, because I got my first apartment.
I didn't have my first drink till I was 22.
Oh, dude, I was drinking, doing drugs, huffing shit like from like 14 up until like 21.
What was your first thing you huffed?
Air duster, like in a can.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
it tastes bad.
Yeah, but I didn't know what it was gonna do. And my friend, I was driving. My friend was like, "Take a hit of this." And I just did it.
It's not nitrous dust.
It's more intense than nitrous.
Yeah,
because it's the same vibe. Like you feel the wah 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 shit. And I was driving, and I had to pull over.
You were driving. Yeah, they told you to hit it
because my friend didn't tell me that's what I was gonna do. Because like up until this point, I've done like weed and truly the thing that fucked me up the most always was alcohol. Like pretty much every other drug, I could like talk to cops or like go to school. I did a lot of drugs at school. That was the place I did the most ecstasy. Was at school.
You did ecstasy at school,
dude. That was my favorite place to do ecstasy.
Imagine being a teenager and talking to other teen girls and be like, "What's up? I feel good."
Well, I hit on people a lot, but also my parents.
I bet you were a fucking creep.
I would just be like, "Hey, you're really cute," like basically doing Indian guy Facebook in real life.
Yeah, were you? Were you fat in high school?
No, I was always skinny. So like the timeline was high school and stuff. I was very skinny. Did drugs. I do ecstasy at school. And ecstasy at school was sick because back in my day, Molly wasn't around yet. So it was ecstasy pills. So Molly is pure. And you just pure MDMA. Ecstasy is cut with meth most of the time.
Having not done either,
yeah.
I like ecstasy.
Yeah, it's cut with meth.
I accidentally did meth once, and I'm like, that's the greatest drug ever.
Dude, so it would be cool because you take it, and so Adderall, like you're so focused.
Yeah. Well,
so
I feel normal on Adderall.
Well, yeah, but you get like focused,
yeah.
But then you also had the enjoyment too. So I'd be doing like math, and I would understand algebra for the first time, and then I'd be like, "Yes,
were you
this fucking rocks."
Were you
dude. Coming
in your pants?
Basically,
like, long division, I get it.
I was like, I get math, and it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Wow,
it's great. Like because I thought math was stupid, but now I get it.
And you're just the Indian kid crying in math class, and people are like, yeah, they love math.
Yeah, dude.
The fucking dweeb. Yeah, of course he does.
And then, we would have ecstasy days at school. So me and like a couple of guys would like all take ecstasy. We would skip one of our classes to just go smoke cigarettes and drive around in my car because I had subwoofers.
Nice.
And we would just fucking blast that shit. And
you drink at school?
I did a couple of times, yeah.
That one's a little more obvious. They can smell it.
Yeah, that's harder. And then I did cough medicine at school, and that was insane.
Lean?
That I did, but not at school.
Well, that's basically cough medicine, right?
No, I did like straight up, what's it called? Coricidin and cold cough, where you take like a tray of the pills.
Whoa.
And then, that one, like, I remember my teacher came and talked to me, and I was like laughing, but all the teachers knew I was on drugs.
Oh.
They just didn't care because like I wasn't like disruptive. They would just kind of look down on me, being like, "You're such a fucking loser, burnout."
Wasting this.
But like I remember, I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, my teacher's telling me something.
Did teachers ever give you? I always got the guilt thing where they're like, "Mac, you're really smart. Why are you acting like a retard?"
No, sometimes they would fuck with me. Like I had a teacher, he knew I was high all the time. And one time I came to class, I was really high, and he looked at my eyes, and he just like, I saw him be like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "You gotta go." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, but you gotta leave your stuff here." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, you gotta get out of here. Go on."
He was just fucking with you?
Yeah, and he goes, "Go on, get out of here. But leave your stuff. Go on. Your stuff is mine now. Get out of here."
That's so sick.
And then I'm outside the door, just like, "What?" And he's just like, "Bye." And then he goes, I'm kidding. Get back in here.
I was just disruptive for the love of the game, just ADHD, whatever. Yeah. And so I had a counselor break down in tears in front of me because she's like, "You're in all these gifted classes and you're failing all of them and you're just wasting your potential." And she goes, I didn't have the opportunities you have. I had to become a school counselor. Wow. I was just like, she starts crying and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't care. It's really, I'm still a little evil, but I'm like, damn, I guess I'm a kid. I don't fucking care.
I was terrible at school because I never found the value in it.
Boring.
And I had like a teacher. I remember I only got into one argument with the teacher, and I remember it because she actually came back and was like, "You're right," and it was because 9/11 just happened. And she was like, "We'll be celebrating 9/11 every year." And I go, "I don't think we're going to be celebrating it."
Nice.
And she was just like, "We will." I'm like, "No, I don't think like celebrating is the right word." And she's like, "We will, like 4th of July and shit like that." I was like, "Not the same." And then she left. And then like the next day she comes, she's like, "Hey, I was listening to probably Fox News. I don't know what she was listening to." Which is like, I was listening to the radio and like the host was like, "We'll never celebrate this day." So want to tell you that you're right.
Fucking dumbass.
It's so crazy to think about, like, She's dead, probably, because like school was so long ago.
She was an old biddy.
Yeah, she was old then, and like now I'm 33, so that was 5th grade.
I always think about whenever I see a nude, like a woman taking a nude,
Sure.
but with like a flip phone.
Oh,
I'm just like, she's probably dead.
Dude, that's so interesting.
That woman is dead, and I'm here spanking off to.
Do you have a lot of dead friends?
No,
because I have a lot.
I have. Like I think I counted once, so I don't even know what the number is up now.
Yeah.
I have 43 cousins on my dad's side, the Mormon side.
Yeah.
And I've only been to 2 funerals.
Wow.
I also don't keep in touch with like a lot of high school friends.
Sure.
Just like I keep my best friends around and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but with like that huge family, I went to my great grandma's funeral and I was too young to like, I'm like, what the fuck? I don't get it. My dad was like, yeah, let's just go. Don't worry about it. And then I remember my grandma's funeral. That's the one. I've been to one funeral where I'm just like, oh, and I had to carry her casket because I'm like one of the only.
Sure.
I'm one of the only guys. I was a husky strong boy, husky strong teen.
How old are you?
Probably like 17 or 18.
Okay, word. So you went to funerals like later in life.
I went to one funeral, and so no one's died in my entire family. And so, because my dad has 9 siblings, and some of them are getting up there, I'm like, it's gonna hit like a wave.
Sure.
I'm just gonna have like, someone's gonna die, and then it's gonna be every year 5 people die.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna live forever because I'm skinny and sexy and hot now.
Dude.
No, I don't. I've never dealt with death, but I feel like it doesn't affect me.
See, for the
I'm
drug,
waiting for my dad to die.
Yeah, I think.
And then I'd have no clue.
Because I'm close to like my parents, and then I was close to one of my grandpas because he lived with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of my family, like during my drug days, I kind of was just like, I don't think we will be friends ever again. Like, I just like, because I truly thought I wasn't going to live past like 22 or something like that. Because I was like, why would I want to live past 22?
This is great, being high, whatever. I don't experience getting old.
And I just was like smoking and drinking and just snorting shit, whatever. I became like Bert Kreischer when I was young, where like I was like the party guy.
Yeah.
Where like anytime I came into a party, people are like, oh shit, dude, we got to get high with me, dude.
No.
Like Spuds McKenzie or something.
Hell yeah.
But like, dude, I mean, that's the thing is like a drug guy, like so many of my friends have died like from drugs or more like from suicide. Like,
oh, interesting.
Which is drug related.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, like not as much overdoses because there was, I tried to do fentanyl.
Oh,
with
really?
Like, yeah. So me and 5 of my friends, I think.
Have you done heroin?
So this is what I was going to say.
Okay.
So me and 5 of my friends tried to do fentanyl.
Snort or inject?
We got the patch.
The fentanyl patches.
Yeah, and it just like
they also have lollipops.
But here's what happened. I have very hairy legs, and the patch didn't stick correctly on my leg. So I'm one of the only people in that group that didn't do heroin after that. And most of them went on to try heroin in some shape or form.
They got addicted to it?
I couldn't feel anything.
Well, you didn't, but I mean,
yeah,
they all probably
did, yes, for sure.
It's a very addictive drug.
Because I tried, like, my legs are just too hairy, it didn't stick.
That's so funny.
And I mean, thank God. Because it could have changed my whole life.
If you were Asian, it would be over for you.
Dude, yeah. Right? So I still think about that all the time. Just like, I tried. I was like sticking it in different places.
Or if they had a lollipop or the needles.
Yeah. I mean, because we did opiates or whatever, and I didn't know what fentanyl was. Like, everyone was just doing, like, it didn't have the hype that it has now.
I talked to, there's a comic in Salt Lake, very funny guy, Andy Gold.
Yeah.
He's been off heroin for like a decade or longer.
That's great.
And I was talking to him like, if I tried heroin once, like injecting it into my arm, how would I be, like, what's the chance of me getting addicted? He's like, probably like 75% chance.
It just dopamine immediately.
And so I'm like,
yeah,
I like those odds. I think I would try it once if my life was completely shit. But here's my thing.
Yeah.
I've also said, because there's like Kanye West is addicted to nitrous right now.
What?
R.I.P. my goat. He's fucking lost. You didn't hear about this?
No.
Kanye West dented, because the last 2 albums, I liked Beautiful Big Titty Women Don't Just Fall Out of the Sky. That's a banger.
Okay.
There's one good song. There's one or 2 good on Vultures 1. Vultures 2 is unlistenable garbage.
Okay.
It's his worst album.
Sure.
Easily.
Sure.
That just came out. There's like AI generated songs on it.
Okay.
So he's gone.
Okay.
there's some celebrity dentist that started putting diamonds in everyone's teeth.
Okay.
And he developed some crazy way. And he's like huge. He's covered in tattoos.
Sick.
He has like a Christian temple tattooed.
Great.
Right on the top of his forehead.
Perfect.
I'm talking like huge, like Rich Piana arms.
What? Great.
And he's a dentist who puts, he's a celebrity dentist. And so it came out that Milo Yiannopoulos released all this.
Wow.
I guess Milo was Kanye's not friend or like political advisor. They called it some weird thing. So Milo's exposing him, saying that this dentist is using charging Kanye like 100,000 or whatever like a month, just stealing money out of him. Which makes sense because Kanye loves nitrous.
Oh, he's doing like real nitrous.
He's like got the dentist set up,
dude,
on it all day, and he's like,
wow.
There's some like People magazine article I found from like 2015, where he said he had some religious experience on it.
Dude, that's no way. Well, because what you're doing is dying. I think is like what that is. Because have you done whippets?
No, so what I'm saying is I would try heroin before I done whippets, because I've seen. It's always a thing I've always been is like I see how people act on drugs.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want that. Meth heads, I'm like that sounds pretty cool. They're
like productive a lot of times too.
Heroin, it feels great. But like when I see people do whippets, it's the saddest thing. I don't know if it kills brain cells, but looking at all the dudes outside of a Fish concert huffing balloons, I'm like, that's the dumbest guy I've ever seen. Yeah,
whippets is very like you have to not care for your brain or life. It's very wasteful.
Does it kill brain cells? It has to.
Here's the thing. Back when I was doing drugs, all we had was Arrowwood, the website that tells you about drug.
I'm an Arrowwood champion.
Yeah, it just tells you where like the drug reactions, but I'm sure it does. And like, because like I was saying before, is like I've done a lot of drugs, and truly the only ones that have impaired me in a way that I couldn't just go function and do other things is alcohol, whippets, and Salvia.
Oh,
Salvia is the most fucked up thing I've ever done.
I think I would have done that if I was a little bit older, back when it was in its heyday, when they were selling gas station Salvia.
I still to this day will have like anxiety. Even now we're talking about it.
PTSD?
I start having anxiety because Salvia, you can live a whole lifetime in the Salvia trip.
Yeah, it happened to Ari on a podcast.
And make relationships and shit. So sometimes, like right now we're talking, and I'll be like, fuck.
What happened to my Salvia girlfriend?
Yeah, or
my
like
Salvia child.
Or I think I might still be in the Salvia trip.
You might be.
Because, I loved comedy and then now I'm just a comedian. Like that's really weird and suspicious. So like sometimes I'm like,
that's a very weird thought.
But the anxiety, I'm like, because and then like
you gotta get rid of that. Because I hate people who are like, what if everything's a simulation? I'm like, shut up.
I don't mind if everything's a simulation. I just don't want to be on a Salvia trip.
That's pretty fun.
It's.
You remember coming out of it?
Yes.
There you go. But you don't want like an Inception.
Because when I did it, what happened was like, so I smoked it, right? And I smoked a whole bowl. I smoked a second whole bowl, and I started tripping balls. And then they asked me, like, I guess
third.
Yeah,
that's the same thing with DMT.
Yeah, and I guess
supposed to smoke like 3 to break through.
And I guess they asked me like, "Hey, are you feeling it?" And I think I said, whatever. I got the question wrong, and I hit a third bowl.
Nice.
And then I was gone, and I saw myself floating above the house I was at, and they were taking my body out in a stretcher.
Oh.
And my parents were there, and they were crying, and then they're asking the police. They're like, "What happened to him?" And the cop was just like, "He was too fucked up to be alive." And then I'm floating above it.
All like, hey, he's fucked up.
So then I have this thought where I go, oh shit, I guess I'm a ghost. So that's what happens. And then I was like, I guess I'll just fuck with people. And I had that thought, but then I just remember someone like I was wearing a hat and they go bop, and then I'm like,
you came out of it,
and I see like a tunnel, and I see my friend. He's at the end of the tunnel, and then I'm like, hello. And he's like, hey, BK. And I was just like, hey. And I'm just like kind of like running or moving somehow towards them. I get out and then I'm like, hey, man, can you do me a favor? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, and then I go, can you hold me up? And he was like, what? And then just the gravity, I just go, and just fucking fall over. And then the trip feels like forever. It's only for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then at one point I go, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go home. And they're like, you're still tripping. And I'm like, I am. And then I would feel the weight of it again. And then at one point I go, no, for real, I gotta get out of here. And I would take a step, and every step I would take would feel like I was stepping on air. And then when I take the second step, the room would like align. And it was so disorienting. I was like, I'm gonna sit down. And they're like, yeah, dude, sit down.
Were these your friend, like good people?
Yeah, they were like friends.
Okay, that's probably saved you.
Yeah.
Spot.
If he didn't hit my hat, I don't know where I would have fucking been, dude. Because like truly, I was like, I mean, it's not fun. Like,
No.
and I feel like I learned nothing.
People describe it as the evil sibling to DMT.
Yes, because I've done DMT as well.
And then there's crazy Arrowwood warrior or Arrowwood nuts.
Yeah.
Who are like, I'm gonna smoke DMT on Salvia.
Oh,
man, all right, man,
dude, no.
that's insane. If you take away anything from this podcast, don't do whippets, is what I'm saying.
For sure.
That's because now they're selling Galaxy gas.
What's Galaxy gas?
Dude, this is crazy. I wonder if
that sounds like some Fortnite shit.
Yeah. Because people take like a whipped cream.
Yeah.
And do it. It's basically a big canister this tall. It's like $100.
Yeah.
Has the thing on the top. No whipped cream.
Oh, then you fill it up.
And you just buy it at it just comes pre-filled, and they have
interesting.
It has flavored air. So I saw
making
this
it
video.
sound fun, man.
I mean, hey, if that's your thing.
Well, when I worked at a head shop, and there's guys that would buy 350 of those chargers a day.
No, that's the Galaxy gas.
Whoa, dude! It looks like caulk.
Yeah, it looks like a big tube, but even bigger.
Yeah.
And they're all doing it. And then the next video is here's a guy doing nitrous and falling down the stairs.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, that shit's fucked up, man.
But yeah, don't do nitrous. That's
one of my buddies got in a really bad car accident because he was doing whippets while he was driving.
So why do people do whippets and drive?
Because I think you if you do it enough,
you
like,
like
it's not
you
like
get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it.
You got your sea legs.
Dude, when I worked at a head shop, like truly, this guy would come in every day.
Head shop.
This guy would buy like $200 worth of whippets a day.
So he's like on his way to Steve-O levels.
Dude, I mean, so one time I went on my lunch and he got in his car and I could hear the clinking around of he's like
That's insane.
Wild, dude. And he had like a nice car and stuff. And I asked like my man, I was like, what's that guy's deal? And he just had like a sugar mama.
Wow.
Like he was like with some rich lady.
Good for him.
And he just did whippets all day. And he had this little tiny dog.
Figured
with
it
him.
out.
He really did.
that's the secret to
Life.
He's
for sure dead by now.
Oh,
there's no way that guy is alive.
Yeah. Or if he is, he's probably like reformed and pastor or something.
It'd be crazy if he was sober now.
It's funny how people, like we were talking, because it's all the drug stuff, but it's like, it's funny how, because we're talking about being fat. Mm-hmm. No one can really give up being an addict. You just substitute what you're addicted to.
Now it's comedy for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
dude,
the lamest thing I've ever heard.
I'm a fucking like comedy like
that's
like crackhead, dude.
I'm addicted to comedy.
I know, it's so whack. It's so stupid, but it's like truly like it's so hard for me. Like I went to Japan, and originally I was like, I'm not gonna do comedy. I'm just gonna fucking hang out and ride the train. And then I was like, there's a comedy club here. I was messaging to see if I could do spots.
Well, this is what I was gonna say. I'm being a good boy. I'm down 40 pounds.
Yeah.
But
what are you addicted to now?
Well, then I'm down 40 pounds, and then the guy's like, "Hey, do you want 4 extra slices of pizza?" And I'm like, "Fuck, he's got me clocked. This guy knows I have a fat soul."
I don't know how to move past that. That's what's interesting because, like, as someone who's like struggled with addiction like for so long, I never did the program, and I've been like fully sober at times.
Was it just like I'm doing it for me?
Yeah, like I got very into like spirituality at one point.
Because you get addicted to spirituality.
Yeah, dude, I did.
Everyone gets addicted to something.
And because the thing that got me was
except for me.
You're not addicted to anything.
Nothing. I got nothing.
I just remember I had this thought one day where I was just like, do I need these things to have the personality I have? And like, what is my personality? And then I just like took a month off of everything, and it was so hard that I was like, I can't go back to this. I can't go back to like constantly using something.
What do you mean it was so hard to not, or?
Yeah, well, I just felt weird. Like, cause I was a daily all day weed smoker.
Yeah.
Like morning, wake up and like do that. I was a daily cigarette smoker, like almost 2 packs a day. And then I would drink almost every night, at least 3 beers. And if we start drinking like early enough, at least, well, it could be like in between 3 and like, it'd be like 3 and 17.
I would, okay, 3 and 17.
Yeah.
That's where you start. When you're like at least 3 beers, I'm like, when I go to Taco Bell, I just have to get the little curly. I have to eat 4 of the curly.
Because 3 is not a lot, but I'm saying 3 minimum. It's like, let's say I have work the next day.
Normal.
I'm like, I got work the next day. I can only have 3 beers.
That's like my dad was when my mom and dad were starting to get separated.
Yeah,
she accused him of being an alcoholic. Because he would have like a beer or 2.
Yeah,
and that's in Mormon perspective. They're like,
that's out of
control. She was like, he's a raging alcoholic. Yeah. I'm like, you don't know how bad it actually gets out there.
Totally, dude.
My dad's the lightest of lightweights when it comes to beer. He almost passes out on 3. It's really funny,
dude. I mean, because we'd start drinking like 7 p.m. and then stop at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So in that time, like we'd have like 17 beers, and like I tracked my macros. Like after, like now that I know what those are,
3,000 calories of beer,
dude. I was like, so I was consuming a minimum of 5,000 calories a day, and then upwards of 9,000 calories a day, just with beer, Whataburger, Sonic, and Dr. Pepper.
Also, on top of calories, your body has to process the alcohol.
Yeah,
so it's just struggling.
I got sick every month. Every month, I got strep throat and bronchitis.
That's how I feel now. Now that I'm skinny,
yeah,
I'm like but it's like I'll get like a sore throat or I have a pinched nerve in my shoulder right now. It's been bothering me for like 3 weeks.
I hurt my shoulder yesterday when we went to the gym. Yeah, dude. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that's the thing. You're right. You do swap your addiction, like spirituality for me. Then I got really into like exercise.
Everyone has to be
rock
addicted
climbing, hiking.
I'm only addicted to pornography. A healthy normal. I like gooning and edging. Just like it doesn't hurt anybody.
Sure.
It's just very stinky addiction. No, the all right, so I'm down like, let's see. I think my fattest was 240, and I'm like below 200 right now.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it was really fun. I lost a crazy amount of weight. That's what I'm saying. And I've explained what it. I was at a gay bar.
Yeah.
Maybe like a month ago, and
we were just at one the other night.
Which one were we at?
The show you came and met me up with.
Oh, was that a gay bar?
Yeah.
It seemed like a normal tiki bar with a lot of gay people in it.
Yeah,
I didn't even judge.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell that was the bouncer gay?
Everybody was gay.
Was that one guy, that far right, like tweaker Republican guy?
Yes,
gay?
Yeah. There's gay Republicans.
Oh, I know, but I'm like, damn, he was gay.
Everybody there was gay.
You were there.
Yeah.
I was there.
So we're gay.
But I was at a different gay bar.
Yeah.
And it was like we were doing karaoke, and there was a friend of a friend there, and she, I'm like, I'm gonna have 2 beers.
Sure.
Because it's karaoke. I don't want to do sober karaoke, and I should have had 3 because they were the tiny like IKEA glasses of beer. And I'm like, you motherfuckers charging me $8 for a third of a pint. I hate gay people. Overcharging. That's what I become.
That's how you become homophobic.
Yeah. Just give me a Guinness.
They're small portions.
But I had 2 beers, and women should be banned from gay bars. It's straight women. We're bisexual. Okay. Yeah, I bet you are. But this woman, they're drinking, they're having a good time, and she's like, we're doing shots. Do you want a shot? And I'm like, I'm good. I set my limit to 2.
Yeah.
I'm not going past 2. But I'm holding a beer. Because if a person who's like, I don't drink, then people are like, fine, you fucking piece of shit.
Or they start telling you how they shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
I lie all the time.
What's your go-to lie?
I just say I've already had enough and I have to drive home.
If I'm not drinking, and I'll be like, I'm Mormon.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
I'm not even supposed to have this, but I had 2.
Yeah.
So
then they'll leave you alone too.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, but I have 2, so I can't be like, I'm not drinking.
Sure.
I'm like, I've set myself a limit. And I'm not gonna drink more than 2. And she's like, but we're doing shots. And I'm like, I can't do a shot. Like I don't want to do a shot and whatever. And she's like, okay, but we're doing shots. And I'm like, all right, I have to say something different. I'm like, I set myself with 2 because I've actually lost a bunch of weight and I'm on a journey and stuff. And she's like, oh, how much weight have you lost? And I go, I've lost like 35 pounds in like 2 months. And she immediately goes from like being like, we're doing shots, you motherfucking bitch. You're gonna fucking eat my clam and do like being very rude and pushy. No means no, ladies. I don't want to do a shot. And so she immediately flips all the way to
concern.
Just like, you've lost 35 pounds in 2 months. And it's like, she immediately goes to like, hey, it's okay. It's not your fault. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And then she's like, you can tell me. And she like pulls me over to the side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so confused at like what's going on.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 seconds ago, you're being really pushy and I want to like push you away and be mean. I can't be mean to her because it's a friend of a friend. That's if you're my friend, I'll be mean to you. If you're a stranger, I'll be extra mean to you.
Sure.
I'm like, get the fuck out of my face, you homeless piece of shit. I don't want a beer. It was just, but if it's a friend of a friend, then I'm like, I can't ruin your relationship with that person.
Sure.
So that's what always gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
And then puts me in a situation where I don't want to be. And so she's like, it's okay. It's like, it's fine. You can tell me. Is everything like almost like I'm being interrogated?
Oh,
and she
like
goes,
intervened almost.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, I used to have an eating disorder. And I'm like, oh, she thinks I have an eating disorder because I lost all this weight. And she's like short.
Yeah.
She's a short, like smaller girl.
Did you tell her how you did?
No,
I was gonna say because I would have really excited.
I wanted to. It's the friend of a friend thing where I wanted to, and I was just like, no. I run a lot. Last month, I walked and ran. I walked most of it, but I walked and ran 250 miles.
That's so great.
I tracked it.
Yeah,
it was mostly I would walk. I would set a goal to where I would walk at least 5 miles a day.
Yeah.
But also run. So. And it started slow because it was like I'm fat at 240. The first when I was 240 still, I was walking. I walked like a mile or two, and I'm like that. All right, that's it. Yeah. And then I just kept upping it. I'm like, all right, go a little further. To now, right now I'm like I'll run 5 to 7.
Wow.
And they're brutal still. I'm like hobbling along on mile 7 like this fucking sucks. But I wanted to be like, listen here, you fucking bitch. I don't want to drink a beer. I'm on dark web drugs. I'm injecting weird chemicals into my ass.
This beer could kill me.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be drinking right now. I've been browsing bodybuilding.com and 4chan Fitness, and I know the names of all these crazy bodybuilders, and I know the names of so many experimental drugs, and I'm an insane man who is willing to do harm to myself. I'm not anorexic. I don't have an eating disorder. I have body dysmorphia. Like, I really wanted to get in her fucking face because she was so pushy, and now she's being pushy in like a really like a opposite way, which offended me more. Yeah, I've had people be like annoying drunks who are like, drink a beer. I'm like, nah. And so, but I really wanted to freak out on her. Yeah, be like, no, I'm taking Ozempic. I'm taking testosterone. I know what I'm doing. I'm complete. And it is like, here's the thing. You can lose 10 pounds in like 2 weeks. Easy.
Yeah. Water weight.
It's a lot of water weight. It's a lot of, if you walk, and it's like, if it's all the people who are like,
cut one of your legs off.
Yeah, exactly. Take a big shit, shave out your hair, like what, come every single day. But it's like when you see someone who takes Ozempic and then doesn't lose weight, it's like, oh, you're eating through it, and you're also not exercising. Sure. So I'm on drugs that are not doctor approved, and I'm
not even FDA approved, probably.
Yeah, and I'm walking and running 5 to 7 miles every single day. That was a crazy month. I've like dialed it back a lot.
You know what you kind of did, which is I find very interesting and almost kind of healthy, is like, so you know, like antidepressants, right? Like if you so
they have those?
So let me tell you, so antidepressants, like, because I've been on a lot of them throughout time, like in like waves of taking them and not, or whatever.
A favorite? People like Zoloft.
Dude, Prozac for me this last time during COVID really helped me a lot. Because I think I told you the other day, like I struggle with OCD. Yeah. And I've kind of been back on that train right now. And
you should do Salvia about it.
Dude, there's just to show me the worst suffering of all time. Be like, could be worse.
You're like, you know what? Life's not that bad.
I have like a weird other dimension OCD.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see those weird like 3-headed goats. Otherwise,
I have to count every prime number in sequence. I have to eat an imaginary amount of Skittles when I get them. You're like, what the hell?
But what you've done is like
your ecstasy and math background.
Yes. But what you've done, which I find interesting, is like I feel like so if you just take. Because I've taken antidepressants back when I was in my drug alcohol days, and it literally did nothing because I was just so fucked up all the time. I didn't give it a chance.
It didn't have anything to work on.
And I wasn't in therapy. But I feel like when I took it before, I kind of took it where I think the ideal way is, which is you take the meds, but you also are in therapy working on stuff, and then you get off the meds and you have, it's like a cast. And then your mind is healed in the cast, and then you remove the cast. You're like, oh, my arm's fucking.
Yeah, you can get off. You can get off antidepressants.
But I feel like you're doing that with what you're doing with the Ozempic stuff because you kind of used it as a tool to get you on the right track, and now you have the habits.
I don't know if I have them yet.
But it's been like a couple days.
I am watching.
We went to the gym yesterday. And that's like part of it. And I think if you just keep the running and doing the thing, like. I think you'll be in good shape. And you actually like kind of did Ozempic in like a non like
I only took like a quarter of the dose too.
See that you microdosed Ozempic. That's fucking sick, dude. Yeah. And now like I think that's kind of the move because sometimes those fixes or whatever, they end up just like not fixing anything.
Well, here's my argument on why when people are like, you're not natty, why would you not just do it? And I'm like, you're being bombarded. It's not the 90s anymore. Yeah. It's not the 60s when they had real food. I'm like, we're being bombarded with so much Roundup in our water, fluoride in the water, all the chemicals in our food and everything. So it's the system is already cheating you.
Yeah.
Out of you go. People go to other countries and like I've lost weight because the food is so good. You're also on vacation. But I'm like, the system is already working against you so far. Mm-hmm. You should be doing everything. You should be using every shortcut to get ahead of it. And so it's like, if your testosterone is like ahead, it starts dipping. It's like start cheating immediately. But I'm like I'm lost weight now, and I hate it. I miss eating being fat,
dude. It is interesting. Your body just adjusts. It's like
it really.
And then you can't imagine that life, even though it wasn't that long ago. Like, because I've gone in the waves of like super healthy, super eating like shit. I mean. The way I was eating before was insane. Whereas like Sonic for breakfast with the large Dr. Pepper, strawberry vanilla Dr. Pepper, starting my fucking day. And then like, lunch is Wendy's and getting like a chicken club, large fries, like ranch, honey mustard. And then I would go drink like a lot. In my spot I would drink, it was Applebee's. And because you get dollar beers. Dude, yeah, dollar beers, $6 pitchers. Sad as fuck. Saddest place to drink. And like I became a regular there, and like we had to like go help a woman move in the middle of the night because her boyfriend was like crazy, and we had to like make sure he didn't like do anything and stuff like that. And like
you're all geeked up,
dude. Yeah, just fucking like I had like $4 margaritas, and I'm fucking like, I'll fight anybody right now. I've never been in a fight. And then we're eating chips there, and then Whataburger is right next door, so we'd go there, eat like a fuck ton of food to sober up, and I drive home, and fun times.
Yeah, I'm gonna get so fat when I get old.
When you get old?
Yeah, like when I turn my birthday in 6 months.
When's your birthday?
February something.
Sick.
There's like some statistic. I don't know if it's real, but I love quoting it to myself because it motivates me. It's like 95%. I think I said it earlier. 95% of like former fat people relapse after like 3 years. So I'm just like, I gotta get to 3 years. I gotta have abs.
Yeah.
For a couple of years. I gotta have abs for maybe a week, and then but stay skinny for like 3 years, and then I'll have the momentum to carry it. Also, I can cheat. I can get it back on Ozempic or do whatever.
I got close to abs once.
Ooh.
And I was doing keto.
Yeah, that works.
And but here's the thing though, is like I was doing keto, intermittent fasting. I was doing all the things at once.
They stack on each other.
And I felt great, but I also now looking back at photos, I was just like, oh no. Like, I think I just had like a eating disorder disguised in a different way.
So?
Like, no, but I didn't look good.
Oh.
I looked like, because I didn't have any muscle. I'd never like really lifted. And so my workout journey was body weight fitness first. And then I got really into rock climbing.
Body weight fitness will give you a great body.
If you do it correctly.
Yeah.
And if you're eating protein and shit.
And rock climbing will give you lats and huge arms.
Dude, I was fucking Like I was 133 pounds.
The rest of your body will suffer in rock climbing.
Yeah.
You'll look terrible, but your arms and especially your mitts.
Yeah. I miss kind of being that skinny too, though. Like honestly, like I felt like it was easier to move around and stuff like that. Now I feel like I'm like at a 183, which I think is like I'd like to be like I think 175, like shredded.
I have like a goal weight,
Yeah,
but I don't ever. I think to have like a set weight,
sure,
because muscle and fat. The argument, like I'm like, oh, okay, I'll probably. Dude, I want to be 240, all muscle.
Was Rich Piano? Was he talking about how he was
said
300?
Yeah, he's also like above 6 feet. He just there's those guys that are like so wide.
Do you ever play Left 4 Dead?
Yeah,
he was like a tank in Left 4 Dead, just like the Hulk, like dude, like truly like an action figure.
Yeah, there's the guys who are so tall, but then also wide that they look like midgets.
Yeah,
and you're like, holy shit, that guy's 6'2". I don't know. Let's look up his height. I don't want to misquote. R.I.P. to one of the gods of the weightlifting community. Dude,
yeah.
The saddest thing. When I was 240 and I started running and I was still like, because I switched from lifting weights to like running.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I want to see how skinny I can get. Is my goal right now. Dude, I had such a juicy ass. And now I'm looking at my ass and I'm like feeling when I sit down and stuff, I'm like, this fucking
But it's
sucks.
genetic though, you know? Because like when I get really skinny, my ass is gone. But then now that I'm back up again, it's back.
Yeah.
That's why, like, sometimes, like, 6'1". 6'1".
He's 6'1", Rich Piana.
300. Fucking shit, dude. He could, like, probably, like, run through a door. Just, like, fucking, like, like, in your house, like, just run through every consecutive door, like, in a video game, like in Fortnite when you run through a door.
And those people, all bodybuilders are addicts.
Yeah.
That are obsessed, which to be great at anything. That's why I don't think I'll ever get famous in comedy or podcasting or anything. I'm just like I don't get addicted to anything.
I put comedy above so many things that I've lost many a thing doing comedy, but also I've gained many a thing by showing up when other people didn't show up.
And your career so much more successful than mine. You are addicted to it, as corny as it is.
But also, like, I just love. I think part of it is also
your next album should be you with a microphone needle injecting into your arms. Be like,
like it's like the cord turns into a needle in the end, like it's an IV or some shit like that, dude. But that's the thing. It's like I think because it's finally something that I actually care about also.
Yeah, okay.
Because I just was like, yeah, this is the best.
That is good. Hey, if you care about beer and you're brewing beer and you're an alcoholic, that'd be the best job.
That's all of Colorado. Colorado is alcoholism with extra steps. Nice. Where it's just like, we drink 8 beers, but we also hiked for 8 hours today.
That's fun. Hiking and drinking and while camping.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing. I can't camp because
really?
because I just hear everything and I'm thinking about what the noises are and shit.
Was this before or after your Salvia trip?
After.
But
I think if I drank and camped, I could.
Are you didn't? Did you camp as a kid?
No, because my parents now are like more outdoorsy. But like when we were like, my parents were brown, so it's like camping is like such a white thing in like in our minds. So like,
because I've been camping my whole life.
Yeah.
So I feel pitch black, no moon, just stars, middle of the forest.
Yeah.
It's you can't see 2 foot like far.
Sure,
I'm like,
sure.
This rules. I love it.
Yeah.
A bear could get me. Probably not gonna run into a bear.
Yeah.
A wolf, a skinnamarink or a
skinnamarink
or a skinwalker. I don't know. I think that's a thing.
I was like,
I think that's a monster in the woods.
That sounds like a racial slur.
You fucking skinnamarink.
Like it sounds like a racial slur for like Italians.
These fucking skinnies.
Rinkies.
Skinnamarink is a 2022 film.
Huh?
See, I knew it was something.
Also, I do have to go shortly. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, we'll end it. We got 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
But no, I feel so comfortable in the woods because I think it was just what I'm growing up, and so like people from the city here, hate like going out, and I'm like I think I've hit the balance of both now, where I can be like in a crowd of people and be like, I don't like it, but I get it. So, but drinking beer after hiking, ooh, it feels good. Food does kind of tastes better when you've earned it. I don't know.
Absolutely, dude.
Pizza probably tastes even better on heroin. I bet it doesn't because you don't want to eat pizza.
Well, even when I went running today, like I went on a short little run to like Dumbo, and from like where I'm staying, and I fucking got a bagel after, and I was like, this hits.
I think I might start getting addicted to running. There's some
Dude,
days
it's so fun.
where I get like antsy.
You should go to run clubs.
No,
that's the new dating app.
I don't want to date a runner.
Why not? You can run together.
It's not the body type I'm attracted to. I want to date a sprinter.
I
want to date a rock climber. I want to date a ballerina. So that's a form, but I don't care. No, I like running. I also like running by myself at my own pace and
same.
But whatever. I'm gonna get next time the podcast comes out. I'm gonna be 240 again.
You really are. Like every episode, you're gonna go back way skinnier. I think too. Like you were talking about, you plateaued. I think maybe like I don't know if we just talked about
because of all my injuries.
You should
that are not unrelated to running.
Whenever you
keep getting fucked up shit happening to me.
Because whenever you can, like weightlifting will help that like extra bit.
No, as soon as my goal is to like, I've lost so much weight that I know it's unhealthy that I'm tearing through my muscle. That's why my ass is getting small.
Yeah,
because I'm burning muscle and fat.
Sure,
that's why I wanted to be mad at that girl. I'm like, I know what's happening right now. I know what the chemicals I'm counting. Like I have a specific calorie count.
Yeah.
You don't have an eating you have an eating disorder. I have an eating obsession plan.
Yeah.
I got spreadsheets.
I have eating goals.
Yeah, but not goals. What's the negative of a goal? Because it's not disorder. I have like
an eating manifesto.
An eating, just like everyone's gonna be so sad when they see how skinny I am.
Oh, and an eating not vengeance. Fuck. An eating vendetta.
Vendetta.
Yeah.
Vendetta.
Yeah.
That's really good. So, anyways, thank you, BK, for
dude. Thanks for having me, man. I'm glad we can make this work this trip.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming out. LA sucks, but I'll go out there sometime. I'm scared of the vampires,
dude. Please come visit me.
They scare me. The Hollywood vampires.
But I'll be back, dude. I fucking love it here. Like I truly have been having a magical trip this time.
I'll always be here. I'm never leaving the city. I got Stockholm syndrome. Oh, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, just my Instagram, Insane Brown Posse.
Follow BK.
Yeah.
All those links are linked down below. Let's get you to your show.
Fuck yeah! Thank you for having me, man.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Yeehaw.